8 petahash. That's the VoskCoin Bitcoin mining farm. Well, with a little bit of help, I'll explain. But I just hit this huge milestone and it's so cool. It's so exciting. And I want to share some data on the actual real world mining profitability of my Bitcoin mining. How much Bitcoin I'm earning, how many dollars I'm earning, roughly how much does that cost me to operate. I've documented the build out over the years here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel as far as what went into this, the labor, a lot of those costs, and some things I've done the hard way. Some things I've done in a roundabout way, but if nothing else, I've open sourced my Bitcoin mining journey here on YouTube, much like Bitcoin is open sourced. So hey, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is a update on my mining endeavor. Well, I think by the end of this, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was definitely worth it, or oh yeah, I think I don't think mining's for me. Man, this is so cool to see. 8. I'm not talking about the past tense of eat. 51 workers. How is it even possible?
There's no way that can be right! It can't!
Over the last couple months, I've been aggressively expanding the VoskCoin mining farm. I have been aggressively adding Bitcoin miners, and I have been aggressively modernizing a lot of my Bitcoin mining fleet. It is just, I've said this before, but it's truly just so crazy that I've got some of these miners plugged in, right? And some of their one-day hash rates. My best performer, my favorite miner, 286 terahash a second for one mining rig, just in one spot, air-cooled, single-phase electricity. You could wire up a 30-amp, 240-volt outlet and plug this thing in anywhere around the world, right? You'll see a bit of fluctuation here. In my mining, I like the new monitoring tools here. And now let's flip over to the rewards. Almost 8. Came up short. Barely. 8. I've redirected some hash to get here to this point. So let's look at the mining rewards, right? So 8 petahash is $462 or $460 or $453 or $430. Why is there a big discrepancy right here? This is after the Bitcoin mining difficulty adjustment. One of the biggest Bitcoin mining difficulty drops just happened, making Bitcoin mining easier, which means that it will simply become more profitable. Mining 0.0043 Bitcoin per day is wild, but it doesn't come cheap. It comes at a big cost. But I love to see things like this coming across my feed here. For years, miners and stakers have been taxed twice. Once when they receive block rewards and again when they sell it. Unfair tax treatment. Make America the world's Bitcoin and crypto superpower. I'd love to see it. Amendments to the OBBB regarding crypto tax still on the table. Rumors. Senator Loomis's language included in the final bill. I'd love to see that too. I'd love to see some actual support from the government instead of literal persecution like we've seen over the last several years. There's a lot of profitable mining rigs, but a lot of them are shitcoin miners that will not be profitable in the near future, that look really enticing on paper, but it's kind of like a cheap fling. You may think it's fun for the night, but you're probably going to regret it, dude. Anyway, bringing it to Bitcoin mining, there's an insane amount of profitable Bitcoin miners, especially per unit, but we have a lot of next generation hardware announced out here, right? I mean, you can't get an S23, but if you could, after a 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour electricity bill, which is my electricity rate on the farm, you would still be profiting, right? After you pay the electric bill, about $17 a day. Let me show you one of my power hogs here on the heavier electrical consumption side. 3,650 watts, right? So this cost me about $6.50 a day to operate. So let's just say that this was the situation for all of my mining rigs. It's not a good example though, but let's just say that that's true, and we'll kind of work backwards from there. So you can see I've got 51 workers here. 51 times essentially 650, pretty easy math. It means that I'm spending about $332 a day in electricity, and that's not even accounting for running my immersion equipment infrastructure, the fans on the digital shovel, and so forth. You only see the top of my miners right here. You only see the most powerful ones. So let's expand this out to 50. We'll go all the way down here to the bottom. I routed over my Canon Mini 3. I have a Canon Q deployed here now, and I was solo mining with my original Mini 3, and then I plugged in a second Mini 3 and I put it here on the pool. But basically I was right here on the cusp of 8, and I was like, you know what, let me redirect all hash that I possibly can. I also have a couple completely dud miners. This one basically has a down board. A lot of these old S19s, or all of my old S19s, I have underclocked. So they're essentially running similar specs. So it's actually crazy to see just how far up my list of 1 hour or 1 day hash rate here, average hash rate, that the Canon Avalon Q gets to. Realistically, my average electricity rate is probably like 2,800 watts, and then when you average that out, I mean, it really could be even less, because all those S19s are running at about 2,200 watts. So let's just say we're going something like 51 times 4. That puts my electricity bill more around $200. And then several of these mining rigs are actually hosted at a few mining farms, and in particular, the big jump in my recent hash rate is going to be thanks to Musk miners. Musk miners, and we've talked about them on the channel before. They've sponsored the channel. If you head over there, tell them you're here from VoskCoin and you want the VoskCoin hookup, okay? But here, they're in the US, they host miners, they'll buy miners for you. Okay, there I am on the website. So basically, they create an easy solution for you to get Bitcoin and other crypto mining exposure. I recently have added about 400 terahash to my Bitcoin mining endeavor that is hosted with them. So if you've been following my Bitcoin mining journey and you want to understand the big jump here, that is going to be the most significant jump on that front. Of course, I've been adding a bunch of the XPs. The immersion Canon model has been absolutely rocking. I love that thing. And I may flip over all my old immersion miners to that to modernize the fleet. And then some other miners like the Bitdeer sealminer A2s are still working and running well. So this is mining now, a supporter of VoskCoin as well. It's a mining profitability calculator, and I like their tool better than ASIC miner value, to be honest. I don't think there's been a time when there's been so many different Bitcoin miner models from so many different Bitcoin miner manufacturers. Not even everything's up here, to be clear. That are not only profitable, but like double-digit profitable. Bitcoin hasn't been like incredibly lucrative to mine in real time for most of its history. And it's not like we're dealing with some kind of weird high emission rate that's skewing this data. On average this year, it's been putting out about $50 million in emission daily to Bitcoin miners. The only other respectable emission for miners right now on a larger, more serious scale, or just even long-term viability, is going to be Dogecoin. Doge has been consistently putting out $2 million or more in mining rewards there. A lot of things that people were absolutely infatuated with, like Caspa, have been crumbling down in the emission, and a lot of the altcoins that were very interesting and lucrative to mine in the previous bull run have been struggling to command a high price point, which is leading to just much lower emissions over there. Alphapex recently announced their pricing on their newer miners, 20.5 gigahash, 3,900 watts, sub 0.2, which is really going to be sub 0.2, so 0.19 joules or watts per megahash on these miners. Basically, it's very efficient, right? And when you compare that with the script king historically here, the L9, that's at about 0.21 joules or watts per megahash of Dogecoin mining efficiency there. So Alphapex is beating them to the punch, but we're going to turn around in a month. We're going to see the L9 Plus. They're going to offer it at a competitive rate compared to Alphapex. And it's funny, you think that, oh, like this is so great, a lot of competition, all that stuff, but really it just ends up phasing out older miners. It makes mining more difficult, and these miner manufacturers just trade blows with each other while getting rich, and then we just try to chase the profits. Oftentimes, that's very much what we just continue to do there. So you look at Coin Mining Central. They're an ASIC miner reseller, and you can get a realistic view on like pricing and availability when you look at places like this. Yes, Shameless plug, we have an affiliate link, but also shameless plug. We have a coupon code VoskCoin saves a coin. So L9 street value right now about 9 grand. In stock, ready to ship. That's a 16 gigahash a second model there before any coupon codes. The Canon Avalon Q honestly is a really cool miner, and I hope you check out our review on it. It's basically like if I want a brand new simple solution to be mining Bitcoin in my living room, my basement, my spare bedroom, my garage, whatever, here it is. I mean, it doesn't look like a miner. It's pretty quiet. It's kind of like running a fan in the corner of the room. But the big thing here is based on its efficiency. For 1,700 watts, it's powering 160 4 nanometer chips, mining at about 90 terahash a second at a easy to deal with 45 decibel sound output. Like for reference, that sounds like a house fan, is like one of those little Honeywell ones or something is running in the corner of your room. Whereas if you put an S21 XP in the corner of your room, well, cue the sound clip from the mining farm. And I have my Canon Q running in awful conditions. It's running in a room that is 102 degrees Fahrenheit with no active airflow. So that's a stagnant air sitting there. Very hot, very uncomfortable, which is the Field Building VoskCoin HQ, if you're familiar with that. I just have some gear in there that I haven't loaded into the mini pod or another mining deployment out here on the farm. So performing above advertised hash rate, all while operating in awful conditions. I've talked about the Bitdeer sealminer A2. I get a lot of questions about this miner. Dollar for dollar, it's one of the best bang for buck Bitcoin miners still right now. So far, it's been fantastic. Out of the box, I really like this miner. It's good. It's good. How will it hold up long term? We'll see. But impressive so far. A lot of buzz about the Aleo miners. They're so profitable. And it's like, they don't even use that much power. I'm so tired of this playbook. These shitty ass manufacturers make these shitty ass little miners. They use this shitty ass little power. And then they make this really impressive mining profitability for just a few days or just a month or a week or whatever. And then it all comes crumbling down. You're left with this shitty ass miner, right? So here's some of my Aleo mining endeavors. So, let's look at my profitability here, right? So you can see that a month ago, I was with my same hardware, I was mining 70, 80 coins, and now I'm mining 54. Okay, so this chart, it doesn't even look that dramatic, but this is a huge decrease in the actual coins you're mining here. Furthermore, the coin's been trending down. I'm just burnt out of shitcoin mining, truly, simply. It's kind of it. If you really want a simple and affordable, approachable income to mining, I love the Bitaxes. They're open source Bitcoin mining hardware and software. Power Mining is the best Bitaxe manufacturer in the world. I stand by that. And if you use our link, head over there and use our code, you can save 10%. But this is what easy Bitcoin mining looks like. And it gives you the ability to solo mine Bitcoin, chase it in a block. You can pool mine with it, but in my opinion, it's pointless to do that. 1.1 terahash on these gives you a 1 in 14,478 chance to hit a Bitcoin block over the next year, estimated on SolarLuck, which is the best Bitcoin solo mining calculator. How much did they pay me to say that? Nothing. We made it. Okay, we made it. I'm proud of it. I think it's cool. You check out this data. Even have a halving countdown. I used to always Google Bitcoin halving countdown calculator. Well, you know what? Now we got our own. Is that what making it is? Does that make it feels like? Oh, making it not with 8 freaking petahash, because look at this guy, Iren. What are you doing, Iren? Using up all the electricity with 50 EHS. What is that? An exahash? Do you know how much that is? Latest public Bitcoin miner just passed 50. Whole lot of freaking exahash hash rate, installed hash rate, deployed hash rate, mining hash rate. Okay, perspective. I have 8 petahash. That is not even 0.01 exahash. Yeah, still just a small fry. I add Bitcoin miners. I hit the gym. Still, I can't fill out the shirt. Still, I don't even have 0.01 exahash. Still, I live the life of a small fry.
If you feel like a small fry after seeing that,
Hit the subscribe button.
If you feel like a big fry, congrats.
Hit the subscribe button. I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is 10 seconds of Tails. Our CSFO, our Chief Small Fry Officer here at VoskCoin. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.